resonates with my values of being responsible for nature. It is vital for me to ensure a green and great Mother Earth for all generations. I'm inspired to support the movement because I see the impact it has on individuals all around the world. With my 10 million tree planting project, adding more impact to it. Earth Hour is important because it allows us to work towards achieving better resources for nature. Tourism and agriculture are the backbones for Tanzania's economy, and they're also nature-based. So if we don't stop climate change now, these sectors will collapse. I believe in the power of unity and that the climate crisis is a matter of urgency.
And we are here. Good morning, and welcome to GW3Live. In the journey of personal growth and transformation, we often find ourselves seeking not only inspiration from those who have walked the path before us, but you know what? We also look for those who can help guide us. I'm Renee Knorr. So excited to be here with you for this Transformational Tuesday. You need to get ready because it's definitely going to be an incredible show. Not only we're grateful to have the inspiration from Mr. John C. Maxwell, but today we have such an incredible lineup for you all. Not only do we have the one and only Bishop, Miss Carrie Hudson, that's going to be joining us alongside with Miss Valerie Stone. And you know what? Today, Transformational Tuesdays, we're going to not only delve into the profound concept of modeling, but where we understand that our progress and development are intricately not only tied to the mentors, role models, and examples that we choose to emulate. So we'll be right back with you guys. And I'm looking so forward to it. Why don't you guys go ahead on and share out the space, whether you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, because this episode here, they surely don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
I'm Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar.
And we are back, and truly we have the power to soar, and truly we're going to help you all take it to the next level so you can so you can also soar with us. Well, guys, are you ready? Our first guest, not only is she a phenomenal mother, she truly is a woman about God. She knows her purpose in life, and it's incredible to see her walk in her greatness. Without further ado, we have the one and only, our bishop, we call her right here, Miss Carrie Hudson.
Woo! Good morning, Queen.
You are so gorgeous. How are you doing today, superstar?
I'm doing so well. Trying to work this out, fam. Get myself in here I need to be. I am doing wonderful. I truly am. I give thanks and praise. I first want to pay much homage to you because it's a real deal pulling something like this together. It's the real thing trying to be consistent in anything that we do. And the one thing that I know about the beauty of modeling and being an example is that it requires a consistent commitment. I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that I think I do have something to share because it's an area for me where I'm learning,
right,
to be guided, but also I have a lot of experience guiding children and young people. And I know the importance and the value of having someone to follow and being an example for those that come behind us. And the reality is that no matter where we're at as far as receiving mentors or being a mentor, everybody can play a role at a certain part in their life in giving and receiving. So I'm very excited about it. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, guys. Put some hearts in the chat for our Carrie Hudson. Not only we're excited to have her, Carrie, we're going to also bring up the queen herself, Miss Valerie Stone. And goodness, come on, let's bring her on into the house. Hey, Miss Valerie Stone, how are you doing today, superstar?
Oh, doing wonderful. I am so happy to be here. This is phenomenal. Queen Renee, Bishop Carrie, it is phenomenal to be here. I am so looking forward to sharing and participating in this wonderful event.
Absolutely. Well, we're so excited to have you. You know, guys, we're live in the clubhouse. We are live on YouTube as well as right there on Facebook. So let's share it out. You know, put some hearts up in the chat if you like how we look, because let me tell you something. These queens here, they came through, okay? You know, it's not a matter of when. It's just a matter of, I know it's not a matter of how. It's just a matter of when. You get a call from me, and you know what? You got to always what? Be ready.
Be ready.
To get ready. Come on, Val. You already know what time it is. And that is so true. So if you're in the clubhouse, please click on that link up at the top so you can truly watch us live. If you're right there on YouTube, please make sure you make some comments. Are you right there on Facebook? We love to hear from you there. So ladies, you know how we do for this Transformational Tuesday. Not only we're so grateful that we're getting the opportunity, my wish came true, that we're going to get opportunity of meeting Mr. John C. Maxwell. Woo, 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 woo. Guys, put some hearts up for that. John C. Maxwell will truly be in the house in Atlanta for Memorial Day weekend. And so many of us are already locked and loaded. You know, I manifested that because when we were reading last week, I said there could only be two speakers that I was like so passionate to hear from. Anyways, I said either Tony Robbins or John C. Maxwell. I said, but God, wouldn't it be great if it was John C. Maxwell? And look what God did. Thanks to David Imonitier, Yvonne Tapia with Envision You, we will get the opportunity of meeting the man behind the book that we are reading right here, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And you know what, guys? Come on now, we've been growing this entire month. We've been growing this entire season.
Queen, yes.
But before we talk about the growth, before we talk about everything we've been able to unveil while we're going through this moment, Carrie, tell our viewers a little bit about who you are, beautiful. Pour into it.
Good morning again to everyone. I just really cannot express how grateful I am to be here. I'm growing, right? In my bio on Clubhouse, even the fact that Queen Renee and the ladies allowed me to come up on stage a year ago, my bio was so simple, and I still need to work on that, Queen Renee. I love you. But at the end of the day, I'm growing, and the more that I embrace that I'm growing, the further that I know that my God will take me. I am a proud mother of 3 sons, and it really is for me watching and learning from my children that reminds me to humble myself and continue to grow. I am an advocate for children and young people, and that's really the vein that I'm going to speak in once we get going. When it comes to the modeling, I thank God, because as I thought about my life and my journey, all the children that I have ministered to and helped. When my mom had us in service, so when we were children, we were servicing children, if that makes sense to anyone. But I've never been a person that has like literally made a decision to seek after a mentor. So I thank God that on my journey of being a mentor to others, primarily young children and youth, that he has divinely assigned me to certain people to push me, to give me the different things that I need. And I'm proud to say that, Queen Renee, you are one of those people at this divine season of my life. I am a vessel. You show up when you're a vessel in a lot of different ways. But my goal each and every day is to be available, and then to watch God kind of blow my mind by taking me outside of my comfort zones and making me useful to him. So again, I'm so glad to be here, and I'm super excited, not just about the topic, but to be here with GW3 and to acknowledge how divine my life is right now, to be a part of such an amazing group of women, and especially to have a mentor like Queen Renee.
Oh, come on now. Put some fire emojis in the chat for our Bishop, Carrie Hudson. Always know how to bring the energy, always know how to bring also the sound information. And I am looking forward to hearing from you, superstar, in regard to not only, the modeling of what you've been able to just experience from mentors, but also what you are doing now from your personal growth. Miss Val, please share with everybody who you are. Thank you.
Oh, good morning again, everyone. Like I said, so incredibly happy to be here. I have been a body expert working with people, their bodies, body, mind, and spirit for 25 to 30 years. I've been doing holistic healthcare as a massage therapist, home health aide with hospice care, and helping families currently, and as well in the financial industry. I'm a licensed financial trauma competent professional, and bring together everything that I do in order to help people. I am so elated that God has revealed to me my purpose, my mission, my calling. And I get to do this and help people and advocate for children and advocate for communities every day, doing what I do with these wonderful gifts. And being here as part of the Global Women Warrior, Wealth Warrior Women, has been a phenomenal game changer for me. A lot of times, to be in the inner circle, to be lifted up and to move on to the next journey and your next assignment, what God has for you, some things have to be shed and some things have to be moved out of the way in order to be allowed into the inner circle, which is where I found my inner circle, my tribe here when I went to Atlanta and met Queen Renee and all my other wonderful new friends at Resurgence.
Guys, let's put some fire emojis up for Val as well, because you know what? We felt your energy. Also, again, it's like we already say what? Not only does energy begets energy, but also egos can spot each other. Okay, yes. Egos can spot each other from miles and miles away. And when you're ready to be lifted, when you are ready to be lifted, you can't even see anything that's coming underneath you. You really can't. Mm-hmm. So I know this is so true. Eagles like to soar also sometimes by themselves, but the greatest opportunity is when we see other eagles. We're like, I see you. I see you, Carrie. I see you, Glendina. I see you, Valerie. I see you, Tanya. And that's powerful, powerful within itself. Guys, again, the eagle himself, Mr. John C. Maxwell, not only has he brought this book into our lives at the season that is so needed, we're kicked off January right in alignment, not only with our reading, but also in alignment with God. It's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. And this sentiment not only resonates deeply with our exploration, even just within the GW3 Transformational Tuesday, but I say this too, guys. We are here not only being able to develop ourselves day by day, every day. We have to understand we have to be attached also to mentors, other role models, and also examples that we can truly learn from. And so as mothers, because, we are mothers, it's interesting how they talk about how as mothers, we are parenting our children, right? We're giving them the opportunity to have someone to mold them. And that's pretty much what we're doing. But as parents, sometimes we need to parent ourselves. Okay. We need to parent ourselves, especially if you're in business as an entrepreneur. You know, sometimes we need to get that extra courage alongside with that consistency, because you know, in these different sessions that we're going to be going through with this part here, not only is it about gratitude, you know, we're going to unlock the power of gratitude through the lens of modeling. And I know, Carrie, you've done an incredible job in that space. We appreciate your words of wisdom every time. So share with me and share with the family, and this will go around, you know, in order to just kind of like pour in some, you know, some insight. When was that journey for you? When did you find yourself really being able to grow yourself? You know, how did you realize you were at that point where you was at that intersection of growth and wisdom? Because after that, you changed. Please pour into the conversation.
Ooh, I thank you so much for that, Queen. I think, you know, we're all different and we all realize things at different times. Even from the time I was little, people always talk about, oh, you're so wise, you're so poised, you're so this, you're so that. So I think in my journey, I have arrived at different places in my life that I wasn't even paying attention enough to know that I was there. And that's twofold. Like when you're younger and you're walking through that, sometimes that protects you to not have the full view of the impact of what is coming out of your mouth and how it affects people. But then it also can limit you from unwrapping or seeking into that full potential. I'll use this as an example. I went natural my hair when I was pregnant with my firstborn son. So for 20 years, I've been natural. It's not until I was doing and tending to my firstborn son and my secondborn son's hair and keeping their hair and being amazed at how it was growing and how beautiful and healthy and strong it was that I really started to understand how my hair could naturally grow. So that's an example. Sometimes we do something and we're in a space where we're doing it, but if we're not paying attention to how we're being evolved and the new strength that we have to go to these new levels, we might not even realize that we have arrived in a place. So I'm just, again, I can't express the importance of divine timing, and the things that God does, the people that God sends into our life, even when we're not actively seeking. I tell people all the time, I came in the Clubhouse, I stumbled in the Clubhouse. My good sister friend Riri sent me a link. And the first time I came in the Clubhouse, I came into GW3. Maybe a month after that, the Lord led me into another family room that I'm in that I spend a lot of time in, called Make Time to Pray. It was not until I came into those rooms that I realized that I had stopped praying for myself. I had stopped seeing myself bigger. I had stopped dreaming for myself. Meanwhile, supporting everybody else in that vein. So for me, I kind of sometimes stumble upon the need to go deeper for myself or to seek out that leadership for myself. And I do thank God that he divinely puts people in all of our lives. There's plenty of times where we may not have been looking for a thing and God sent it to us. And it's not until it came into our space that we realize, oh my God, Father God, I thank you for sending me that person, that group, that whatever it is. So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Come on now, give me some fives. Come on, give me some fire in the
Woo,
chat.
woo, woo. Yes.
Because not only is it important for you to be able to see yourself, that's right there, that identity, but you have to also see yourself when you're wounded. You have to see yourself also when you are hurting in order for you to be able to say, wait, hold on, let's pause. Let's get back to self-awareness. Let's get back to self-love. Let's get back to self-care. I can't be everything to everybody if I'm not whole and complete to myself. So I appreciate you for that, Carrie. I appreciate you for being able to put a pause to it. We love to hear from you, Val. Please pour into the conversation as well.
Oh, yes. Thank you. What an excellent topic and to speak about. You know, God told me a long time ago, probably about 3 years ago, it came to me just as clear. I want you to see yourself as I see yourself. And he said, I'll wait. Because for so long, because of childhood adverse experiences, I had left my body virtually. I was disassociated. And I have found that whether you are a believer or not, everyone, regardless, has the same issues. Life be life, and for all of us. However, I know for sure, one thing I do know for sure, when I made God my CEO and when I just relinquished everything, surrendered, and began to know who I was in God and my own identity, and then discovered the what I am supposed to be doing, what my calling is, and what my jam is, then and flowing in that, that's when I was able to realize there is such joy and fulfillment when you take the pause, when you do the pause before the pivot, because in the pause you can sit with it, sit with the woundedness, sit with the mess, the messiness of life, and then get that guidance and just sit with it, let it process through. For so long, because I was not, aware of what was going on and inside myself, and just basically in survivor mode, where all my just survival mechanisms were kicking in, I wasn't thriving. Then I realized once in 2022 was a year when God took me back down to the very basics, square one. It was just me and him and my dog Athena. And, I am not my circumstances. None of us are our circumstances. It's whatever you do with that. So in that, I began to be able to lift myself up, help others so much better. And it's really a miracle in motion, because all I have to do is tell my story, live my life, be obedient, and everything else just falls into place, because it's all about what God has for us. Recognizing each other. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Go ahead and put some fire emojis up also for that amazing, well said, Valerie. You not only being able to recognize yourself, but also appreciating the pause. See, a lot of people get confused with the pause. A lot of people think when God's slowing you down, that means you're being left behind. No, sometimes God needs for you to sit still so you can listen, as they say. So you can listen and hear what he needs for you to do next. I share this with you as well. In the journey of that whole transformation, sometimes we get so quick to think that, we run, or we're in need of a mentor. Please put this definitely put this in the message, guys. We all need mentors. We all need mentors. How whatsoever, we want to make sure we identify the mentors that are there to care for us, not the mentors that are there to take. All right. It's important for you to have someone that have that have your best interest to heart. Sometimes we get wrapped around where people say they're mentors or even coaches, and it's just about the dollar bill, y'all. And in all actuality, that's not it at all. You want to have somebody that not only knows how to nurture, that knows how to support, but again, as I said, how to care. So I'll ask this question for you guys, because in the world, we're so inundated with so many coaches, with so many influencers as well. And, we know for sure in 2024, because we're readers, truly real leaders, we always understand the importance of having that discernment. But how can we help others to identify the right mentor? What are some of the tips you would recommend in that space? Because again, we all need mentors. And I'll share with you, even when I had to sit down after we came back from London, I looked at myself. I said, I do not even know this lady anymore. Oh my God. I just was like, next was coming. I couldn't put my belt around my waist like how I used to. I said, oh no, this is going to have to end today. And you know, it's so funny. That's the real reality that we have to have with that neck up. Okay, guys, we have to be honest with it. It's not cute letting ourselves go. It's really not. And not only did I recommit myself to myself, I even spoke to a couple of mentors. I said, you know what, you guys not gonna see me in the morning, because in the morning I have a date with Renee Knorr, and she's gonna get herself back on track. And you guys know I'm a giver. I love giving, but I even had to to moderate, not even moderate, but I had to minimize how much I was giving, because again, you cannot give from an empty cup when you're not fulfilled. So ladies, as mentors, I have now 7 mentors that little I go to for certain areas. And you know what? I probably have 1 or 2 that I speak to all the time, but it is nice to have that in your journey. So Carrie, talk to me about mentors and tell the few viewers what are some tips of how you identify the right mentor.
Yes. I would say for me, when I look back at mentors that I have been sent, that's the best way for me to start that, because again, I am embarking upon seeking for mentors. So when I look back over the mentors that I have been sent for my life journey, I know for my existence, it has been people who are true prayer warriors.
Yes.
People who can fill the gaps. A mentor is not someone that teaches you or stays on top of you about some things that God has already allowed you to master. It's a person that can push you, or a person that can help heal you in a particular area of time. And we know that healing is what allows us to move forward. So I would say for sure, someone who is a prayer warrior, someone who can fill the gaps, someone who, I think we have different types of mentors in different spaces of life. Sometimes our mentor is a person who can see where we are and will warm push us. And then other times in life, it's those mentors like Queen Renee, like, you see the ledge, I'm pushing you. All right. So it depends on the season. And you know what the
good eagle.
Yes, that's it. It's time to fly. And so, like seasonality, and depending on where you are in your life, it matters. And so some people have the same people in their life from early in their life until the end of their life. But it's important that as we journey, we recognize how God brings people into our lives for the seasons that we are in, so that we can continue to evolve. So yes, for me, someone who, and not just has a prayer life to the God that I serve. Amen. Important. That will either be patient with me when I need someone to listen, or push me off the ledge, because at different periods and times in our life, it depends on what we need. Amen. And just to respect the seasons. The thing about seasons is so real. We can all look back at our life and see people that God put in our life when we were children, by way of either an auntie, or uncle, a family member, somebody at our church, our early teacher, somebody in our community. A lot of times those people are not still in our lives, but we have to remember, oh my God, that at that season they serve such an amazing purpose. And I feel like when we look back at our lives and see the purpose that people in our lives have meant to us, it thrives us to be that type of a person. It thrives us to want to be a mentor. I want young people to look back in their life and see me in critical junctures of their lives, some of the ways that I see the people that God has put in my life over the years, because you remember what people pour into you, and it matters.
Absolutely. Please, you remember what people pour into you. As Sean mentioned, alongside with Maya Angelou, people don't remember what you say, but they truly remember what it is that you do for them and how you treat them. And that's just that part, Carrie. Not only does it come from a place of random acts of kindness sometimes as well, but also you got to have gratitude for even being able to see that. And so thank you so much for pouring in. Okay, Val, bring it on. Bring on them secrets.
Thank you so much. You know, I was just telling my girlfriend Dawn last night that how we are, how I was told by a young lady that now that we're older, when we used to be in Sunday school, she said, you know, Valerie, you said you used to help me so much. And I used to want to be like you. I would watch you up there doing the secretary work at the end of Sunday school and all these different things. And a couple other people later in life that I was involved with as and younger have told me how I've helped them, different things I've said. I have no recollection. That is because I was like, outside of my body and not had come into my own. But then when I reflect and I look back at that time in my life, although I was highly traumatized, it was like I was in the eye of the storm. Like God just had these things. And then moving forward, and these wonderful people told me, that's what made me realize that I was the mentor for them, as well as it was reciprocal. And so now God always downloads. He always lets me know who he's putting in my circle, like who I can attach to, who it just becomes. And with us here in this tribe, I have realized that we have similar styles in which I wrote this down. I'm reading it. I wrote this down yesterday. We have similar styles in which we execute our gifts, our talents, our skills, and our leadership style. Like we recognize each other. And the mentoring comes from all different types. I have mentors that I have not met, people that are famous. I have, especially the people that I have met, like you, Queen Renee, and the different people I met in Atlanta. Those are my mentors. That's how I attach, and I understand because it's been revealed to me. So it's about that pause again. You sit with it. Everything and anything. Sit with it. Check in with the Creator, and it's evolving. We're mentoring each other. We are mentees. So just having that ability of discernment and really checking in with, what are you seeking that mentor for specifically? Because like you said, Bishop Carrie, it comes from all over. And so what is it specifically? And then, just reverse engineer, break it down, and it will come to you who you should have in your inner circle, who you shouldn't. Some mentors are for a season, all of those things. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I always say this, it's not what people tell you, it's what they do. Okay.
That's
it's
it.
What they do. And with that, not only is it important for us to continue on being coachable, as well as teachable. One of the greatest principles we have in life is to continue on learning every single day. Every single day. And I get so disappointed with myself if I don't learn something. It's like, wait, hold on. I grab a book, I do something, so therefore I don't miss out on my blessings of how I can always learn from someone else. You know what? I'll say this also, leaders. It's so important for us to not only to stay relevant, to stay right in alignment, not only with our journey, but like what you said also, how we're going to impact the young ones, how we're going to be that impact for someone else. This year, I challenged everybody, not only that 365 list, come on, I talk about that 365 list goal, but I also challenge you guys to identify building your own tribe. To start identifying, because you're influencers. And as influencers, you have to be able to influence, you have to be able to impact, you have to be able to connect with others. 20, at least a minimum of 20, guys. 20 is a really good number. And you start off just like Jesus Christ settled for like 3. I would say he didn't settle, but he got down to his BFFs and he had 3. But I really would say if you can impact at least 20 individuals, that would take not only you on a continuous transformation, but now you're pouring right back into others that need to be transformed as well. And that's going to help everybody to grow. That's what this season is about.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. You know, when you think about John C. Maxwell, you know, I'm going to reference this book, guys. You know, one of the things he definitely poured into us, it's all about what? The law of modeling. It's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. Exactly. So you know what that means? Be the best person to follow. I remember when I was pregnant with Janae, and I share with my mom, I was reading all these books, guys. My mom, she's like, "You reading another book?" I said, "Yeah, Mom, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm having a baby." I was so nervous, guys. I was freaking nervous. I asked Mom, I said, "Mom, you know you got to be here for this delivery because I'm not going to know what to do with this child." My mom got back into this calming voice and she said, "You know what? You'll have the instincts when that time arrives.
That's right.
You will have the instinct of what you need to do. And there's no books in the world that's going to be able to give that to you." I was like, "But Mom, I still need you there." That's what
I'm like, you reading another book. You reading another book, Renee.
Oh my goodness. But it's because of her. I mean, my mom was Jehovah's Witness, and truly we were readers in that home.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And I have so much gratitude for Willie Mae for pouring in so much to us. Just like the gratitude I have for you guys being with us here for this Transformational Tuesday. You know, in our closing, I want you guys to just go ahead on and dig real deep, okay? Because we embrace the power of not only gratitude, but also we talked about, you know, the lens of being able to model as well as with mentors. I want you to go ahead on, especially because it's Black History Month. Who are some of your mentors that you look up to? Give me maybe 3 names. Who are some of your mentors that you look up to? And you know what? Still till today, they've been able to not only shape and mold other people, but you're still looking up to them today. So we'll start with you, Miss Carrie. Take it away, beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. You know, one of the things that I was so grateful to hear John Maxwell say on the way to rounding out the message that we listened to in Clubhouse today was to mention his parents. And so as impressed and impacted and how much homage I have for so many of the foremothers and forefathers that have gone before me, I would say as far as impact, mentors that have impacted me, whether I sought it out or not, I would definitely want to mention my grandmother. My grandmother was a single child. It was just her from my great grandmother. And she had 7 children in 8 years, and those 8 produced 16. And so then we at 16, of course, continued to produce. So my grandmother's sole commitment to family and her willingness to be a vessel, all the times that I seen her hold the family together after my grandfather passed away, deal amicably with family situations so that family situations didn't keep us from being together and loving one another. I honor her, and she truly is a mentor. And then I would say my mother, because we learned like what we know, we learn by watching. And so much of what I now know God desired of me to be and designed for me to be, even before the world was framed, I got to literally watch my mother do. I got to watch her look out for other children, bring other children into our house when it was time for us to pray before it was time for us to go to school. I got to see her teach mothers how to be mothers in the daycares and different centers and different things that she worked at. I watched her serve God. I also learned to have a little bit more balance than I thought that she did in the serving and the giving. So I thank God for that. But a lot of what I have come and have to make an impact on the community, on the world at large, on my family, is because of my mother. And then if I had to throw in one more just off the cusp, I would say Maya Angelou, because knowing her story, her commitment to decide to get back to opening up her mouth, you know, God gives us a choice. And if we don't open up our mouths, then our mouth can't be used. And, you know, her story and her example is one where she had every right to remain, to choose to keep her mouth closed. She never had to reopen her mouth to let the gift come out, but she did. And we all are still super blessed because of her push and her press. And I honor all of the ancestors that pushed through life, made decisions, held families together, exercised their gifts in order to leave the world a better place so that we could be talking about them right now.
Thank you so very much for that insight on grandma. And thanks so very much for just your insight, along with just highlighting and spotlighting those who made your transformation, you know, based upon their life experiences, help you to be the woman that you are today. Ms. Valerie?
Absolutely phenomenal, Carrie.
Yes.
You know, I was adopted, and I've adopted 3 of my 6 grandsons. I have 6 grandsons and 2 sons of my own. So there's 8 kings in my family. I'm the matriarch of our family. My daughter and I are the sole caregivers of her children and my grandsons. My other 2 are with my son, my youngest son. When I was adopted, I was in foster care, and my mom Hughes, that woman, that beautiful woman of God, she always had me in church. She was an older woman. So I was a part of, as a very young girl, a part of church, funerals, everything that goes on with church. So she is definitely my number one. And I have memory of her, you know. So then I was adopted at 18 months, and I have 2 moms and 2 dads, because I have a birth family and a adopted family. I have had the pleasure of meeting both sides of my birth family. Like, I know I'm a Gordon. I know who my father is. I know that I have over 40% of different regions in Africa in my DNA, and then the other part as well. And, you know, so my father, now that I have met him in 2020, Mr. James Gordon, and I've been getting history of my family. They tell me that my Aunt Barbara, who I have not met, I look like her, I sound like her, and no one else in the family really delved into the herbal remedies, and making different remedies and things for people, which is what I do. It just is part of me. And now I know why, because they said, you know, you're just like your Aunt Barbara. And so to have that knowledge and that instruction, and to know my history. So on the other end of it, my birth mother, because, you know, we have examples of sometimes that we don't follow, and things that we know that we don't want to do, and it's just as important as anything else. So that's what I would say are my people that I look up to. And of course, Maya Angelou, because for a period of time I actually went mute as well. And about 8 years ago, when I first got back into the financial industry and was helping people in a different capacity, Joy, my friend Joy, my mentor, healer, she told me, you know, Valerie, you do have your voice back now. You have your voice back. And now it's just flowing. I have my voice, and I am here to represent. You're on mute, Queen Renee.
Let's put some fire emojis up for Queen Val. Yes. For having that voice back, because, you know, I'm sure someone else can relate to that as well. And it's so important for you to find your way back home. And, you know, love the fact that you were talking about your family, your heritage there in Africa. You know, I'm looking so forward to bringing us all to the motherland this year. And you know what's so great, guys? You know, just appreciating Black History Month. You know, not only we're here because of our beautiful parents. My mother, you already know how much I love me some Willie Mae. Oh my goodness. You know, being born on her birthday, and then also she named me
Oh,
after her
wow.
mother. So you know, that's just like hearts all around in my DNA. But I'll say this also: second person would truly have to be Oprah. Oprah, I'm sorry, baby. When I was younger, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to become as Oprah Winfrey because of her voice. Oh my goodness. I used to dress like Oprah. It was like really crazy, guys. The big scarves and everything. I literally adored Oprah because
Oprah.
back then, of course, we didn't have that many of us on television, guys. And not
That's
only did
right.
she move mountains with her being in position, remember, they didn't even think that she was attractive. They did not think that she was beautiful at all. So breaking barriers, that's something that not only is it important for us to understand where we are in the time that we're in, but we have to know also we got to stay creative and innovative. And that is something that we can truly help to knock down even more doors. So I always have to give it up to first my mother,
Yeah.
second Oprah Winfrey, and of course, and I'll say this, I am a grandma baby because my grandmother, everyone says I look more like my grandmother on my dad's side. I would say Miss Aura Lee. That's right, Miss Aura Lee.
Orphan.
Aura Lee was about keeping the family together. You know,
Okay.
in addition to that, she was sort of like your Coretta King Scott. She was married to my grandfather, and she never, ever, ever remarried. And she passed away in her late 90s, guys, in her late 90s. And she looked so beautiful. No gray hair. I mean, she really didn't have hardly any wrinkles or anything. So you know what? I'm going to age gracefully because of both of those parents, my my grandmother alongside with my mother. And I'm just honored to be able to help others to find their way as well. You know, being not only a catalyst within this journey that we are in, today is Transformational Tuesday. It's nothing but gratitude. And I pray that we want to leave you guys not only more enriched, but also insight with the whole power of gratitude. Can somebody put that in the hashtag, please? Put that in the chat, the power of gratitude. Because one of the things we will never want to take for granted is our becoming, how we start, as well as the journey throughout the process. And we didn't get here by ourselves, guys. We truly did not get here by ourselves. So we got to embrace that power of gratitude. And through the lens of how we've been able to model and continue on modeling for others, we want to make sure that we can help others to learn, help them to grow, and help them to be not only the change agents for tomorrow, but also giving them a much better world than what we had on yesterday.
Amen.
So it's been an honor to have you guys here. And I'm just so excited. I know they're going to blow you up all over your Facebooks and
I
things
hope
of that
so.
nature. Yes, they will. Oh my goodness, guys. Let's give it up again for our incredible co-host, our Bishop, Carrie Hudson, alongside with Miss Val Stone. And what we're going to do, guys, not only are we going to get back into the clubhouse, we're going to go into a deep dive so therefore we can connect with those that are right there who's ready to soar, to take it to the next level. But until we do that, let's make sure we roll those shoulders back, keep our heads up, because the time for us to do what? It's time for us to blaze the universe.
The universe.
That's
Yes.
right. Blaze the universe.
Blaze.
The world needs another game changer. And that game changer is YOU. That's right, guys. Absolutely love it. Nothing you can do about it. We'll see you on the other side of your greatness. Bye for now.
Amen. Bye for now.